不知道大家有什么特别的感受？今天我们就在这边做一个简单的分享会。那么在分享会的最开始呢，我们将有请菩提长老为我们做一个发言。So we are going to welcome Venerable Bhikkhu Bodhi to give a speech first.
I won't give a speech, I'll just say a few words. Okay, so first, good morning, everybody. And now we've come to the end of this 7-day retreat conducted and guided by Venerable Kaiyin. And first I have to thank Venerable Kaiyin for agreeing to our invitation to conduct the 7-day retreat here at Zhuangyan Monastery. I think it was very gracious for him to come from Malaysia for the purpose of, primarily I think for the purpose of conducting this retreat. Is this going to be translated or it's... 大家听得懂英文吗? So 没有翻译
maybe a little bit. Yeah.
不要翻译
OK 不要翻了。
我的中文不好，所以我要用英文。我很懈怠，所以我不练习说中文。So we want to thank Venerable Kaiyin for coming from Malaysia to conduct this retreat. And also I have to thank, especially for myself and the few people here who are confined to the English language, we have to thank Jing Lan for doing very, very good translation. I think especially the evening lectures were rather dense and technical, and yet I was listening to the English, and I think she caught a lot of the technical terminology and translated it very well, in a very comprehensible manner. Okay, so this method of practicing the 4 foundations of mindfulness, working through starting with the Anapanasati, and then working through the 4 elements, and then moving on to the contemplation of feeling and mind. I say it's a very, very powerful and rapid method. In fact, I checked the Visuddhimagga, the path of purification, and the Visuddhimagga says that this method of doing the 4 elements meditation is for the meditator with sharp faculties and strong wisdom. For other meditators with duller faculties and with weaker wisdom, there is a different method of doing the 4 elements meditation. So because Venerable Kaiyin decided to teach that method here, it means that he thinks that all of us meditators have strong faculties and sharp wisdom. But also we have to realize that what we did these past 7 days is really just a very compressed and I have to say very superficial exposure to this method of practice. To really experience the fuller benefits of this method, one has to extend it over several weeks, even a month or several months. I hear in the Pa-Auk Meditation Center in Burma, they usually expect the meditators to stay 3 months or 6 months in order to get the full benefits of the method of the meditation on the elements, on the 4 elements. Okay, so because this is a monastery and it's not a meditation center, so we're not able to hold 2-month or 3-month retreats. But when you leave here, as the Venerable Kaiyin said yesterday, It doesn't mean that you leave the 4 foundations of mindfulness behind at Zhuangyan Monastery. But wherever you go, you have your body with the 4 elements. You will be experiencing feelings, pleasure, pain, neutral feeling, joy, sadness. You'll have states of mind, mind with greed, mind without greed, mind with hatred, without hatred, with delusion, without delusion, distracted, concentrated mind. Wherever you go, you have your mind. Wherever you go, everything is impermanent. So there are always opportunities to cultivate the 4 foundations of mindfulness outside the monastery. Especially when you go home, you shouldn't think, once a year or a few times a year I'll go to a meditation retreat and practice meditation. But rather you should assign a certain period each day, or even better, 2 periods each day to develop your practice. Depending on your schedule, the amount of time you could devote could range from half an hour to an hour, but you should have a regular practice in which you're developing whichever method in the 4 foundations of mindfulness you prefer. If you want to strengthen the concentration, you could focus on mindfulness, just on mindfulness of breathing. If you want to develop insight, you could start with focusing on the breath and then move to scanning the body in terms of the 4 elements. Okay, the practice of the 4 foundations of mindfulness has the purpose of developing wisdom, the wisdom that will eradicate defilements and lead to liberation. But we also have to cult, as Buddhist practitioners, the other side of Buddhist practice, which is cultivating merits. And traditionally we say that there are 3 ways of cultivating merits: the practice of generosity, giving, the practice of observing precepts. So in your everyday life you observe the 5 precepts, at minimum the 5 precepts, and then the practice of bhavana, mental development, which especially means the development of qualities like metta and karuna, loving kindness and compassion. And I would say in today's world, these are the qualities that we need above all. Of course, in this country and around the world, there's just so much violence, so much hatred based on race, religion, ethnic identities, and so on. And in Buddhism, we have a very strong, solid, ethical foundation in these qualities of loving kindness, wishing all sentient beings to be well and happy, and compassion, wishing all beings to be free from suffering. And now I want to take a little liberty of mentioning one particular way of expressing compassion and action. 9 years ago, together with some of my students and friends, we established an organization called Buddhist Global Relief, which is dedicated to combating chronic hunger and malnutrition around the world. And every year we have about 25 projects in many different countries, including Vietnam, Cambodia, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, several African countries, Kenya, Malawi, Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, Haiti, Nicaragua, and the United States. Projects that provide school lunches to poor children, that provide scholarships to girls to go through high school and even to go to college, which provide assistance to women who want to start right livelihood projects, and which support ecologically sustainable methods of agriculture. Now, the main way in which we raise funds is through a walk to feed the hungry. And here we have walks around the United States. Every year about 10 walks in different cities and regions of the US. In the New York area, on October 28th, we will be having the Walk to Feed the Hungry in Riverside Park. So I want to suggest that those who are living in the greater New York area, please come and join the walk. If you can't join the walk, I'm going to put some brochures out on the table there. You could learn more about our organization, about the work we do, and please contribute to help support this work. I'd say that there are probably only 3 Buddhist organizations in the world which are really doing work on a global scale to help the disadvantaged, putting compassion into action. One is the Taiwan-based Tsutsi Foundation. Another is the Sri Lankan-based Savodia organization. And the third, based right here at Zhuangyan Monastery, is Buddhist Global Relief. So please support this work. Okay, thank you very much.